This is still more about life in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. Weeks ago, when my partner would join her friends for a virtual video happy hour conference, no one talked about the virus, the epidemic, except maybe peripherally about the way it was changing their lives, mainly through political restrictions, closings, curfews, etc. Now it's all they talk about. They all know people who have it to varying degrees, from the slight to excruciating. And they seem to mostly accept with a cheerful fatality that everyone is going to get it eventually. The field mouse isn't there, not yet. He's still battling the virus with masks and distancing, and living as much as possible in your own bubble, self-quarantine. The numbers are terrible, that's true all over the country. Hospitalization, ICUs, and deaths, all of those are up and continuing to rise. The field mouse threatened action, but fearing a revolt, the only move he's made so far is a curfew from 10 at night to 5 in the morning. So everyone who felt threatened at 3 a.m. can rest easy now. The Pander Man is appointing people to official positions in his administration. The trumpet refuses to concede. More people are calling for him to accept this defeat, saying there is no possible path that could lead to victory, but he resists. It's funny. People on the left used to put out yard signs that read, "Resist." Now it's the trumpet who's resisting. And the crazier he looks, the more some people are drawn to him, like to a Quixote fighting for his impossible dream. In his extreme obstinacy, the trumpet is seen as something of a hero by some. To many others, he is evil incarnate, egotistical in the extreme, and a threat to democracy itself. Either way, he's a major historical figure. The Pander Man now has what he calls his transition team. Now, this is the year 0 CE. He's having one of those gender operations, I guess, and he'll be President Josephine Biden. That's some transition. I think he should have announced this earlier. He would have won by a much wider margin if he had, I think. The governor of a neighboring state said it's now too bad and too late in the game to quit. So he banned indoor operation in bars and restaurants, stopped in-person education in the state, and limited gatherings to no more than 8 people in a household for the rest of the year. I don't know what choice the field mouse will have, because it's as bad or worse in our state. The question is, will people comply? The politicians are at a loss now. They sense that they can't really do anything, but they can't be caught doing nothing, so we come up with the nuttiness of a 10 to 5 curfew. Yeah, that'll do a lot of good. I believe that I will wear a mask on Thanksgiving and for the weekend at the state park. I will be laughed at and I will feel foolish for sure, but I think I'm going to go ahead with that plan. We're not just politically divided, or racially divided, or economically divided. We're also divided over the virus, and it's getting more extreme and confrontational. The ones issuing warnings are beginning to panic, and the ones who don't believe a word of that are getting more and more cynical about everything, not just the virus. They see the virus as an opportunity for the government to infringe on our freedoms, and they don't like that one bit. I heard a nurse say that they had been expecting this, but still they were getting overwhelmed, that the virus was hitting like a tidal wave. She was followed by another nurse who echoed her concerns, but added that it wasn't a tidal wave, it was a tsunami. If she could tell listeners how they could help, what would she ask of them? She said, please do not gather at Thanksgiving. She said, let it go this year. It's too risky. People talk about CoVid fatigue. And you do go into a CoVid blur, where you forget about it and imagine you are back in the pre-virus life. It doesn't seem like such a stretch, but the experts say that is the main problem we are facing right now. People have lost proper respect, that primal fear for the virus. Just what the Joker was waiting for. What's the truth in all of this? I don't know for certain, but I think maybe things could get a lot worse in a hurry.